Oh boy. What is up, people YouTube? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you could call me Vinny. And I know you're probably asking, Vinny, why in the unholy mother of why are you doing this one first? Well, I want to get the negativity out of the way first, so I can end off the year in a positive note. And this is also another reason why I'm doing this one sooner, because honestly, 2016 had a lot of mediocre or just crappy figures, like from almost any company. And 2016 was not also the best year for other reasons, but I'm not going to go over that because that's not what my channel is about. Anyway, with that being said, hopefully, well, actually, not hopefully. I just want to point this out. This list is in my own personal opinion. If you get offended by any of the other figures that you like on this list, I'm sorry. But I respect your opinion, and if you like any of the figures that's on this list, that is awesome. You clearly see something that I don't. Anyway, with that being said, let's get this over with, and let's get started. We're going to start it out with, obviously, number 10. Let's go. Oh, I wonder how much backlash I'm going to get. The S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954 makes it on the list because, well, I was disappointed with them, even though I lowered my expectations. The paint job was not what it could have been, and the saving graces are the articulation and the sculpt. If it weren't for those two, he'd be a bit higher on the list. But those eyes and that paint job really do hold him back. Not all the paint job is horrible, but some of it is nice. This is a figure that is not worth its price at all for $77, which is bullshit compared to the previous releases. I do recommend waiting for a price drop or a sale and get this figure. Other than that, I'd stay away, and if you really want it, lower those expectations low. The Marvel Legends Iron Skull is not inherently a horrible figure, but it is a bit disappointing for what it was. It could have been something really good, but ultimately it's just a lazy filler figure, as I'll call it. And my paint job, unfortunately, was not the best. It did have a few issues. The accessories are good for what they are, but I wish it came with alternate hands like the actual Marvel Legends Mark 43, since this is what the mold is. Not inherently a horrible figure like the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954, but in ways, it could have been a hell of a lot better. The NECA GMK Godzilla is a fine figure, it's just not what it could have been. I've grown to like the sculpt more. The paint job, though, does indeed have a lot to be desired, and this is one of the most situational Godzillas I ever had posing, if that makes any sense. I know it didn't make any sense because my grammar kind of sucks, but still. This Godzilla figure is not really as good as it could have been, because we all know NECA is capable of better. I still stand by the fact that their 1954 figure is one of the best. Nobody can deny that. Well, almost nobody, honestly. Even I think it's better than the MonsterArts. But with this figure, the MonsterArts definitely wins, but this figure could have been good, but the NECA just kind of dropped the ball with this one. Hopefully their Shin Godzilla will be better, because I know it will. This Marvel Legends Captain America figure is definitely not as good as it could have been, and dare I say should have been, because this figure is very situational with the posing. The articulation is surprisingly limited on this one. And for Captain America, it is. The sculpt is way too boxy. The paint job's nice for the most part, but I don't like the inconsistent red color on the shield, because it's not the same red as the one on the suit. Those harnesses are a serious pain in the ass to work with because of the fact that they keep falling off. His hands should have been fists, and overall this Captain America figure is not as good as it could have been. This is a figure I definitely stay away from unless if you want the Build-A-Figure piece. This Marvel Legends Iceman figure is definitely not as cool as it could have been. The articulation is good, sculpt, it reuses the Spider-Man body, and the head is new, which is okay, as well as some other parts. The paint job, however, there is none. There's no paint on this at all. It's just translucent plastic that, yes, resembles ice, but at the same time, it really doesn't resemble ice. It would have helped if there was some white shading along with blue shading. However, what kind of combination they would work with, because this is one of the laziest Marvel Legends figures I've ever seen because of the fact that there's no paint on it and they just reused the Pizza Spider-Man mold. This is one of the laziest figures in existence. I swear to God, I'm going to stand by that. I don't care how much backlash I'm going to get for saying that. So this Iceman figure, unless if you want that Juggernaut Build-A-Figure piece, stay away. The Marvel Legends Sharon Carter, or Age of 13 if you prefer, is not a good figure at all. Horrible woman anatomy, which really shows that some Hasbro guy did not know what woman anatomy is, and the paint job is pretty lackluster, not to mention the horrible face sculpt, the articulation really ruining the sculpt when you pose her in certain ways, and also the articulation is not as good as it could have been. Those molded guns piss me off, and the gun accessory that she comes with does not even look like an actual gun at all and does not fit her at all. This is one of the worst Marvel Legends figures in existence, at least in my personal opinion. I do know that there are worse figures out there, but in my collection, this is one of the worst. Unless if you want the Onslaught Build-A-Figure piece, stay away, because this figure sucks. The Marvel Legends Havok is one of those figures that actually makes me angry. Why? All the effort that could have been put into this figure was just thrown out the goddamn window. At least with Iceman, you could tell there was some effort because they added new sculpt marks and they at least painted the eyes. Havok sucks with the paint job. It feels like no effort was put into it and they just slapped it on there. The silver is there to look nice, and you know what? It does. But does it save the figure? No, of course not. No shading. The crappy paint on the chest sucks ass. The accessories we use from Wonder Man's, but it doesn't work for Havok since they don't fit again. The head sculpt is okay, but the rest of the sculpt is just the same Bucky Cat mold that they love to use on every single one of their Marvel Legends figures. We've seen it on Deadpool, we've seen it on Eel, Blizzard, just to name a few, and trust me, it's just, it pisses me out to see this mold all the damn time. It seriously does. Like, unless if it works well, stop using it. Like, for real. I can only recommend this if you love Havok or want that Juggernaut piece. Other than that, this is a figure that should be avoided at all costs. Okay, I know a lot of you are asking, why the hell is an import figure higher than a $20 figure? Those are $20 figures. There's a difference. The price can hurt a figure more than you actually think. The S.H.MonsterArts Bowser is definitely not the good Bowser figure it could have been and should have been. That price is too high, check. Lack of accessories, check. Lackluster articulation and very hard to pose, check. Sculpted paint-ups are good, but what good is that if you can't even pose the Bowser figure in some other displays you want it to be in? It's only good for Smash Brothers, but another thing that hurts it is the size. It's smaller than Mario and Luigi. That should not be on a Bowser figure, period. Any Bowser figure of any brand should be bigger than Mario and Luigi. That's basically a rule of thumb. You can't just have them be more or less the same size. That's bullshit. And that $64 price, again, it hurts. That is a very bitter pill to swallow, and I do not recommend this unless if you find a sale or if you love Bowser to death. Other than that, this is another figure that should be avoided. Stay away. In ways, the S.H.MonsterArts Pikachu is worse than the S.H.MonsterArts Bowser. The sculpt is not really good and is broken up a lot with the articulation. It does not really look great. The paint job is okay, but it doesn't really fill in the lines, as you can see there on the cheeks. You can definitely notice that. And overall, it's just not that good. Articulation is piss poor. The accessories are also piss poor since it comes with hands that make no difference, and it comes with 3 faces. What would have helped is some sort of energy effect part, but no, they expect you to pay for the $20 Tamashi Thunder effect part, which kind of sucks. So I essentially paid $60 just to have a complete Pikachu, which is not worth that price at all. This Pikachu is only good for Super Smash Bros. Displays, and if you love Pikachu and a die-hard Pokemon fan, then go right ahead, but other than that, do not pay the price, and if you're getting it just because everyone else is getting it, don't even bother. You're better off buying other Pikachu figures. Seriously, just stay away. My number 1 most disappointing figure of 2016 is the S.H.MonsterArts Shin Godzilla, or as I like to call it, the S.H.MonsterArts Shit Godzilla. There is literally nothing good to say about this figure at all. Only good thing, articulation and sculpt. Oh, I'm sorry. The paint's not good? Oh, I'm sorry. Does the articulation cause the figure to fall apart a lot, or mainly with the tail? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, was there supposed to be effort put into the figure? Oh, then how come I felt cheated for paying $200 for the figure? This figure is not worth any of the prices. Any of the prices. I repeat, any of the prices. The paint job sucks royally on this figure and ruins it a ton. The tail articulation is good, but causes it to fall apart a lot. Those arms are fragile as hell. I just found out, so I'm being extra careful with them from now on. Not to mention the fact that the eyes are getting on my goddamn nerves. It needs to stop, as Filthy Frank would say. Honestly, this is one of the worst Godzilla figures I'd ever purchased. One of the worst figures in general I've ever purchased. This is a figure that should be avoided at all cost. Oh boy, I'm gonna get crucified. Well, really that doesn't matter to me. Well, honestly, I really don't care since it's my personal opinion, and nobody can change that. I'm entitled to it, and if your opinion is different than mine, I respect it. Again, if you like any of the figures that I listed down here, that is perfectly okay. Good for you. With that being said, guys, thank God the negativity is out of the way. Now we can get to the positive stuff by moving on to other reviews of good figures, and also the top 10 best figures of this year list. Anyway, with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe for more stuff. I do Godzilla Kaiju Heroes, fan films, stop motions, reviews, and all that other fun stuff. And if you also want to like the video too, give me some support. And if you want to tell me your thoughts, if you're nice about it, comment down below your top 10 or 5 worst figures list is, if you have any. Because I know there are some people that don't, which is fine. Anyway, with that being said, I'm Super MarioZilla, and I am out. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.